So
Well, all right. So what we're doing right now is we're making this. We're just finishing. We're just putting the finishing touches on this glove here. So it needs about 3 more after I put these next 3 on. We have all those cut out, and then we got to make the armor for the thumb. So we're just gluing those up. We're waiting for these to get tacky. Probably a lot of it's going to be muffled coming through here, just because I don't want to inhale too much, you know. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, right now it's just making these gloves. Yeah. Well, good. Glad you got in here. Glad we can provide some entertainment.
yeah. Yeah, that's right. We're back at it. Still a little so we got it'll look pretty cool. Trust me, it'll come together, but it's gonna take a second. It's gonna take a second to look good. We'll do the fingers, then we'll try to do the palm, and then we'll see how it looks after that. But yeah, so far so good. Hey, to be fair, it's not paint, it's glue. And we're not waiting for it to dry, we're waiting for it to set. There's a difference. But alright, now that we have those glued,
Pretty much had the hand done. So, like I said, it's gluing, not drying. So it's slightly different. All right, slightly different. So now what do we have? Now we almost have the fingers completely made. It's a pretty cool looking scale mail, but since that's apparently boring for some people, what we'll do instead is we can cut out more pieces. Because let me read you the math. We have 4. I think I need 30 of these or something. It's 3 for the pinky, 5 for each finger. So I need at least 18. No, I need 17 more. So we'll just cut out some pieces. That way I don't have to wear my mask. That way I can talk clearly. We need some different colored foam than black because the Sharpie won't show up on black. We'll do blue. We're being predominantly blue, it looks like. Let's make sure I have my scissors. How organized am I today? Let's see. If not, a Sharpie is fine too. Sharpie's probably better than using the scissors. All things considered, I guess. Alright. This pattern is super easy though. It really is. I mean, it's just one of these. So we have 4. 1, 2, 3. And 1, 5, 10, 15, 18. I need 7. I do need 17 more. Okay, I need 17 more. I'm glad I'm a man of the people. Thank goodness. I am working on the gloves for Doctor Doom. So Doctor Doom has pretty standard knight-looking stuff. So here, let me show you. So his helmet kind of looks like this. This helmet's maybe about halfway done with the black wash that it needs. Oh gosh, I just don't even want to look at it sometimes. Man, what a rough helmet I've made. What a thing I've built. Anyways, I really hate how it looks, but from the side it's not so bad. There's kind of a black wash going on. Putting on a black wash. Oof, that face is rough though. I gotta fix this. I'll fix it one of these days. But anyways, Doctor Doom's kind of just got gloves that look like very 14th century-ish kind of knight armor. So that's what we're making. I mean, yeah. I love doing it. I don't do it enough. I should do it more often. I'm glad people like watching it. I don't know how they do. I don't know how they can do it, but they do. You can see how messy my table is. Actually, let me show you something really cool. I just bought this the other day. This was only like 30 bucks. This is so wild. So, this is a Dremel, right? Normally, when I use a Dremel, and I know I'm getting off topic, but I just got this, and it's really, really cool. Normally, when you use a Dremel, the Dremel head is right here. So normally, if I'm like using this for detail work, I've got to hold this big, 2-3 pound Dremel. But now, you see this little tube here. I got this tiny little Dremel that uses the power of that, and I can just hold it way easier and do that. So I start the Dremel up, and that thing will move. It's wild. Love this kind of technology. It's great. Well, I'm glad it looks good from there because what was the name I was gonna call myself before we did Patriot Props? Was like 10 feet away cosplay, because there was a time there everything I made looked good from about 10 feet away. That was the joke. And my brothers and I had for my costume name slash how I built things. But yeah, so we just trace the pattern out. You can see it. How sharp is this? Sharp enough. It is sharp enough. Okay. And then cutting and tracing. Now we only need 16 more, just like that. It's pretty easy. Well, I shouldn't say it's pretty easy. I should say it's simple. It's gonna take a little bit, but now we only need 15 more, just like that. I should do my cut on a different part of the mat. Okay. Have I been in any shows recently? Yes, actually. I am in a show in Worthing right now, the Old Town Dinner Theater in Worthing, South Dakota. I am in I Hate Hamlet, which is a really, really, really fun show. And I play Barrymore, who, spoiler alert, is a ghost. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. The show is about this actor named Andrew, and he moves to New York with his girlfriend because he's tired of being in LA, and he wants to do some acting gigs in New York and try to live his life there. But he kind of gets involved in this play of Shakespeare in the Park, and he he doesn't really want to do Shakespeare. This isn't really what he thought his plan was going to be when he came to New York. He has other people offer him jobs to act on a different TV show, but he also wants to do Shakespeare because it's like a challenge. So it's kind of him wrestling with these internal, um, this internal monologue that he has about what he wants to do with his life and all that stuff. And it just kind of ends up, and trust me, it is a lighthearted, funny show, but at the core of it, it is him trying to figure out whether or not he wants to be a Shakespearean actor or if he wants to just act for the money. It's kind of like, do you want to act because it's art or do you want to act because it's a paycheck? And that is where my character comes in. My character, Barrymore, is a ghost of someone who had played Hamlet in his lifetime, and he wants to teach Andrew about the glory of acting and why you should act just because, not just for the money, but because it's this beautiful, fulfilling thing to create such an artwork that is Shakespeare. So, long and short of it, it's a good show. We've had 2 weekends so far. We have 3 more weekends after these 2, which seems crazy to me that a show can run for 5 weekends, but that's kind of how Old Town Dinner Theater does it. So, perfect question, which allows me to rant and rave for so long. This would be a lot easier if I had my scissors, but I don't know where I put it. That's okay. Okay. See, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Technically 6. Which means, no, let's just say it's 5. 5, 17, we have 12 more to go. I don't know if I'll use that one yet. I'll cut an extra one just in case. Alright, so I think after we cut all of these out, we might try to mess with the mask, because just seeing it on stream gave me a headache just looking at it, even though I painted it. Jason, we are making Dr. Doom's gloves here again. So, kind of same thing I was doing last time. We've made incredible small amounts of progress on it since then. Just getting that cool knight armor glove look. It's not beautiful. It's not the greatest. I need to take out a lot of that extra residue, whatever it's called, contact cement. But yeah, but we'll see. Should look pretty cool. The glove is full of rice and plastic bags to let me be able to work on the glove without it being all floppy like this. So it's like, man, he eats a lot of rice. I do eat a lot of rice, but I also use a lot. I use an oddly strange amount of rice in the prop making process for whatever reason, and I don't know why. I mean, I do know why. So sometimes when I make a cast or a mold, in order to figure out the area, not the area, I don't know all the math terms, but in order to figure out how much mix I need to fill all the, I guess the volume, whatever it's called. I just fill the mold with rice. I dump out all the rice. You can do the same thing with water, but half the time you don't really want to do that. But yeah, just fill the mold with rice, and then I dump that out, and then I figure out, okay, that's how much I need for stuff to mix together for the mold. For the hand, fill with rice. You can kind of push it around. If I want to put more rice into one finger, I can, just to make it easier to work on, stuff like that. But yeah. But now I've got to cut out all these little, I kind of chose the easier slash more tedious, the simpler slash more tedious option to make this glove, which was instead of trying to have all these different parts to it and only have 3 pieces on each finger, but then fold them and then do all this other stuff, mechanically speaking wise. Instead, I'm like, you know what? Let's just do these. Let's just glue them on. Cut them out, glue them on. Makes it easy. Has anybody watched any good movies lately? I was just an hour into Tombstone before I decided to go live. That was pretty good. I mean, Tombstone is a classic. I'd never seen it before. Saw that it was on Hulu. Gave it a shot. If anybody is watching anything else, feel free to leave a comment below. I'll pick my favorites in the next episode of ya. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 11 more, so we need 5 more of these. Okay. What are you working on right now, Jason? And if it's a secret, then don't worry, you can keep it a secret. It's all good. It's all good. I know we got secret projects. Like to surprise people at conventions and all that jazz. Which reminds me, I do need to get back to somebody about that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Did 5 more. I did 2 and 3 more. So 1. 2. All right, nice. The painting process is so much more relaxing than the building process. Not that the building process is necessarily super stressful, but it kind of can be. You know, if things aren't totally right, I find the painting process so much more easy. Easy on the heart, mind, and soul. Ooh, my hair been doing that this whole time. That's better. That looked really weird, but nice. Yeah, I'm excited to see how the Star-Lord stuff comes out. I'm gonna be pumped for that. Now I get to cut out these 16, 17 little guys. Where's the pizza? It's right here, actually. There we go. Hair looks that bad, huh? That's okay. I didn't really try to look good today. Alright. I've been putting my initial incision on these things at the very, like, point where the tip of this thing would be. I think I'm going to stop doing that because now if it doesn't line up perfectly, it kind of leaves a little nub. And I kind of don't want to have to sand all of these, so I'm just going to start from the bottom and try to make it as curved as possible when I get to that curved tip point. Fair enough. Fair enough. How did I start on this one? Actually, probably I'm going to have to sand that. That doesn't look too bad. I don't like it that much, though. Yeah, I think I might have to just keep doing what I was doing just because it's tough to kind kind of get that rounded. We might need a new blade. I don't know. I think if you have to ask if you need a new blade, I think you need a new blade. I think you're right, Calder. I'd sharpen it, but I lost my sharpening stone. I have to buy a new one sometime. Or steal a new one. Nah, I'm just kidding. Or am I? There we go. Yep. This is the same Doctor Doom armor I've been building for almost 2 years now. I'm just going to get it done. I'm very lazy. I take on other projects. I do other things. I'm going to get it done so that way I can work on some other stuff I've been dying to work on. Oh yeah, geez. As soon as you put that new blade on, you're like, yup, probably should have switched to a new blade way, way sooner. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. It just glides. Hot knife through butter. Love it. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. I think once we cut out all these pieces, I don't know if we're going to go back to building the glove because I have to wear the mask a whole bunch and just it's going to be watching glue dry. I don't be able to talk or interact with stream very well. So we'll probably do some black washing on some stuff, I think. Maybe the helmet. I really should have stepped away from the helmet a while ago and then come back to it, but I just painted it, and it's not impossible to fix once it's painted, just a lot harder to fix. But yeah, I need to just. I just looked at the helmet again and it looks so bad. I'm not gonna fix it now though. Like I said, probably gonna go black wash stuff after this because making the glove on stream is not super easy to talk with a respirator on, and I'm not in an outdoor area where I could, what's it called, use it without wearing a mask, so yeah. Let's see. Oh yeah, I love it how sharp this thing is. I don't even have to press the mat to the ground to get it to cut. I can just hold it up in the air. It'll just glide right through. That's not the smartest way to try to cut this stuff though. That made a really wonky cut. That's okay. And the reason I can kind of make wonky cuts with these pieces is because they're all going to overlap, except for the one at the very bottom. So I need to just make sure the one at the bottom looks really, really good. The tips themselves aren't going to overlap, but kind of that middle part is because of how they're stacked, so it's not going to hurt too bad. All right, all the pieces are cut out, just like that. And now I'm going to do this. Because this is completely unusable pieces of foam. I shouldn't say completely unusable, but that piece goes over there now. Alright. Now we have this fat stack of all those little guys. That was the one Dremel accessory I bought now that I think I will actually use, like, all the time. I still have 2 other, like, Dremel things that I bought that I have yet to use, that I've never once used. But yeah, it's kind of how the knight armor looks on the hand. I think it looks pretty cool. I like it. I think it looks neat. Give him a hand, folks. All right. So, blackwashing, all that stuff. We do that. All right. Let's see. So this is it's a bit more delicate of an art, quote unquote. I mean, yeah, it's an art. It's an art, sure enough. A little bit of water. We'll just do acrylic. Just keep it easy. All right. We're gonna finish the helmet. The helmet's already been started. Is this brush? Okay, this brush can still be used. So this is pretty standard weathering stuff. This is how I do it. Some people like to do it different ways. There are many like it, but this one's mine. You mix black paint with some water, so that way it's all nice and runny. Then grab the thing you want to weather, in this case, Dr. Doom helmet. No, I bet I can cut it. And I knew I said I wouldn't screw with it, but I gotta screw with it. It's bothering me. Bet I can take it right here. Just bring that in. We're gonna go for it. We're gonna go for it just because I. See what that looks like. Let's see what that looks like. This knife is so sharp, it makes me feel like I'm not about to make a humongous mistake. Maybe we make every decision with sharp knives and open minds. Sharp knives and clear minds. At the very least, I am using a sharp knife to make this decision. Doom! That's right. Dr. D. This entire head needs to be shifted. Water-based oil paints? Okay. Is that what you... Where do you get those from? Hot dog. Does that honestly help? This is Dr. Doom. That does look better. Yeah. Alright, in the world I'm going for, better is what matters. Oh, actually, no, once we do that, okay. Pretty good. Yeah, it's Dr. D. Hobby Lobby. What brand are they? Are they still, what are these, Rose Art? Is that what I'm using? Oh, jeez. I think I normally use Rose Art. This is Anita's all-purpose acrylic. What's the majority of my acrylics? I think they're majority Apple Barrel. That's what I get. I just get the Walmart brand acrylics. So, I might look into Rose Art. Not Rose Art, excuse me. What brand do you have, Jason? So now, the cool thing. Where's my helmet? Man, haven't built anything in a while. I haven't used all my tools, so I don't know where everything I need, all my PPE is. I almost probably have more PPE in my car from work than I do PPE here for cosplay. So with this guy, talked about it earlier, and now I get to finally use it. But yes, dude, this cool Dremel thing. Ah, this is gonna be a lifesaver. I wish this cord was thinner and a little longer, but still, this way less heavy than this. This is a freaking lifesaver. I love this. I like this a lot. All right. I don't want to get dust in my eyes though. Maybe I'm okay with getting just a little bit of. Oh, there it is. Yeah. Just oil-based. These are just oil-based acrylic, water-based oil paints. Winsor and Newton Artistry. Okay. All right. I'll see. I'll look into those. Hobby Lobby's not my neck of the woods as much, but I'll look into those. Okay. 20 is fine. Yeah, I think 20 is fine. Yeah. I love that thing. All right, Winsor Newton Artisan. Winsor and Newton Artisan oil base. Okay. Water-based oils. Water-based oil paints. I don't know why I keep saying oil-based. I want to keep saying oil-based acrylic. Water-based. Yeah, back to the grind. All right. I'll check those out for weathering. I've never hated using acrylic for weathering, but I do bet that an oil base is just going to look so much better for, like, if it's going to be, like, dirt and grime and stuff, I assume that's probably going to look way, way better. We're going to glue that there. I can keep that mentally in my brain. I can keep that mentally in my brain. What a sentence. All right. Yeah. We are going to glue that there. So, we got to take a swig of water. Gotta represent my guy here. Gotta represent my main man, Odin. What a dude. This thing is awesome. I love this thing. That is officially my new favorite toy. That thing is awesome. Alright. Mask. Then we'll actually do some weathering, even though we already put the paint in the whatever. Then we'll do some weathering. And it's not so much weathering, it's just a black wash, really, is all it is. It's not actually weathering. But yeah. Shame on you. Shame on you for saying that. No one out pizzas Domino's. Disgusting. Absolutely disgusting.
Oh, that's right. Well, I will say this, you learn something new every day.
It is peanut butter. You want me to make you a sandwich? I can make you a sandwich of that, or I could also just make you a sandwich of, like, real peanut butter. Why is this here? Because this is where I eat breakfast every day. Thank you very much. We'll talk about it here in a second. So, what I just learned, which really, I guess it makes sense based on what the chemicals are. And I should have done that in the first place anyways, was sand this off for the contact cement to go on it. So I just found out that contact cement will remove paint. Makes sense. Probably if I looked into like chemical compounds and if I was actually aware of what I use in my workshop, I would have known that. But that's kind of cool. I didn't know it would do that. Makes sense though. Who am I rooting for this season? The Bachelor. I was rooting for Teddy. Teddy and Genevieve were pretty up there for picks. But now that they are gone, that's a tough question. I don't know. Without Teddy and Genevieve, I don't think Brandon, is that the Bachelor's name? I don't think he's got really. He's got some solid picks left, but I think he sent home the ones I was rooting for. Yeah, hopefully Genevieve finds her King Arthur. I hope she does one of these days. Maybe she will. She learns how to smile. Same thing with Teddy. She learns how to smile. Maybe she'll find true love. Because clearly they were going to find true love on The Bachelor, which is of course where you find true love.
All right, we're gonna wait for that to dry. Set, not dry. Excuse me. Wait for it to set. This is where. Oh, what is this? Cubone is popping up. I wonder why. Hello. I'm building stuff right now. What's up? Yeah, I'm home. Right. I'm sorry. I'm waiting for it to dry. What do you want me to do? We just sort of kind of have to wait. That's the name of the game. That's the name of contacts in that. That's just the way it is. These poor helmets, I've reconstructed and torn apart and remade this helmet probably 5 or 6 times, and I cannot stand this damn helmet. It's not quite there yet. We're almost there. It's almost there. All right. Well, how's everybody else doing in the house? How's it hanging? How's it banging? How's it clanging? All right.
Well, being careful to not, crack the foam and all that. Oh boy. Let's make sure that stuff sticks. Can't say I like that too much. Aha. Yeah. Um, well, Jason, I about pulled my hair out. I probably spent 24 hours sanding that Baby Yoda pod. I mean, my arms were tired. I was doing this all day. Heck, because of Baby Yoda, I bought. Let me show you something really quickly. Oh, that is terrifying. Wow, I really hate that did that. Wow, yeah, I guess this is why we don't do that. All right, anyways. No, let me check. So, be, because of Baby Yoda, I bought this thing because of that pod. I bought this little sander here, and then I realized, as great as this was, it was still super heavy to hold. So I got to doing this. I mean, sanding. I couldn't go over the whole thing once. I had to go over the whole thing 4 or 5 times. First, get it roughed out, get that taken off, then, lower the grit by, 50, 40, whatever, lower the grit again, lower the grit again. I had that thing baby smooth by the time it was done. And look, I'll build the kid a Gundam costume, but number one, I don't know how to attach 3D printed parts. I assume attaching 3D printed parts is going to be the exact same as attaching foam parts for the most part, buckles and straps and whatever. But sanding really sucks. If I had an army, if he said he'll help sand and he'll do it like well, and I had like 3 other people saying, all right, we'll all sand, and if I got paid for not just hourly for sanding, but for also the time and gray hair it adds, like the time it takes off my life and gray hair it adds to my head to sand. Um, I or I don't know like if there's some magic way to sand 3D printer parts easier. I have no idea. Filler primer is your friend, Jason. I don't. If filler primer is something you put in the 3D printer, then I don't know what to do with that. If filler primer is something I can use to sand, then yes. Otherwise, filler primer is your friend. You're the guy with the printer. I honestly, I don't know if I'll ever buy a 3D printer just because of how much I hate sanding. If there is a really easy, convenient way, I'll never buy a 3D printer because I don't know how to model or design things in 3D, and I honestly, just being honest, don't want to learn. That's just true for me, anyways. But also the sanding, yeah, it seems really neat. Filler primer, you educate me on filler primer, and we'll see. because I'm sanding, I'm switching hands, I'm doing this arm, I'm doing that arm. You know, I feel like Daniel-san, wax on, wax off, wax on, wax off, just sanding my life away. It is for sanding. Okay, I will look into it. I'll look into it. All right. Well, the helmet is what it is. Wow. I don't think that matters too much. Dr. Doom has a hood. How well can I see that from the front? Not very well. It looks better. It's wonky. It looks better. I hate this helmet so much. What did I say I need to do? Oh yeah, just do that. If I just do that, it looks fine. I need to form it a little bit. Well, we'll form it really quickly. People doing car paint use it? Okay. Well, then that, I mean, obviously, if it's for car paint, I'm live right now. What's up? People use it for car paint, then obviously they sand off pretty large areas. So, I'll give it a go. We'll see. You know what? If I want to make it out of foam, but I think if I want to make it chrome, it's easier to 3D print it. If I get you to 3D print a Peacemaker helmet, I'll try doing it on that. Because that thing I will want to sand crazy smooth. Man, oh man, oh man. I should have never painted this stupid helmet. I forget, I gotta smash it in more so than I want to. Oh gosh. Heat forming a helmet that's already painted. This is just bad thing after bad thing. Cutting a helmet and whatever helmet after it's already painted. I just hate how this thing looks so much. Oh man, it looks so bad. I hate this thing. Hate it. No, I'm not making the guy pay me full price. I just want to get it done. Newer, bigger 3D printers so you can. Oh, okay. So, I know you have to give me a scope of the size here because let's do some of this black wash stuff while I'm talking. So, if you do print something out, is it, now that it's bigger, so it's probably going to take less time, I assume, and then you'll be able to print, of course, bigger pieces, right? So, what all does that entail? But yeah. Once again, 10 feet away cosplay. Alright. So I kind of did the face already. I need to do the under part of the chin, and the bad thing about this under part of the chin is, actually, let's grab my goof off really quick. Some of that paint ran. Really sucks. Less and bigger pieces. Okay. Nice. Less pieces, bigger pieces. Okay. Alright. I'd be down if we can find first of all, easiest thing, I think. Not easiest, because it obviously it has body and mass, and it would be kind of hard to maybe deal with. But something I don't want to build that's intricate is Desert Eagle for Peacemaker. So if there are files, I imagine it's like generic like gun. There's got to be files for a Desert Eagle. I'll look up, try to find them, maybe send them to you. But that would be what I would like to try to do first, and then I'll work on this. Oh, that was super easy. Man, I love this stuff. This goof off stuff, great. Takes paint off. Incredible. Who'd have thunk? Alright, so, weathering. I'm gonna put some of this wet black paint on it, really get it in those creases. And I'm also kind of using this because the silver is a little too shiny that I use. So I'm also kind of using it to also just make the silver a more muted color. But then, we just kind of wipe it away, not like super, super well, but just like enough. Because we wanted to show that like dirt and grime and stuff has gotten into the crevices, and as I say that, I just wipe it out of the crevices. Genius, incredible. Okay, there we go. Just a little bit. But yeah, we want to see that there's like some dirt and grime that got in the crevices here. This kind of makes it look like he's smiling right now. Let's use a little bit of goof off, take that off. That's just a little too much. Oh my gosh, this stuff is so great. I can make all kinds of mistakes, so I can just remove the paint. It's amazing. Alright. Chin looks good. Not many people are going to be looking up under his chin in his mask anyways. And we got this whole part that needs to be washed up. But yeah. I'm just going to give it a second. I might have made this too runny. I made it maybe a bit too runny. I'm gonna have to pay attention to where it all goes. See that? Oh man, that almost just kind of looks kind of cool. Looks kind of neat. All right. Now what we do, take our paper towel. Man, I don't know if I can live without these paper towels, man. They are so convenient. Kind of let it dry a little bit, and then just kind of barely wipe it off. Like, I mean, we're not really putting much pressure on it to try to get all this stuff off. Except for some maybe really big black splotches. I really like the way that looks. Kind of take that off a little bit. Kind of mutes the color down. Not as crazy silver of a silver, makes it look rugged. This whole section right here, ooh, painfully silver. This is like Astro Boy, Japanese anime looking silver. Painfully silver. Anybody out there playing Elden Ring? I'm not. I hate Dark Souls. But it's a popular game right now. Do I hate Dark Souls because I'm bad at Dark Souls and I don't want to get good? Because that's like kind of like what Dark Souls people always say. Oh, you're just bad. You don't want to get good. Nah, I just don't like fantasy genre. It's not my favorite. Swords and I like knights, but like magic and swords and stuff isn't really like my go-to genre. So not really into Souls games as a whole. But Elden Ring is popular. So you know. Since it's popular, I've got to hate it. I got to be a hater. Got to yuck everybody's yum. That did mute the silver a lot, though. That was just huge, and just making the silver not look so. Maybe in the future I'll choose a better silver color. But for right now, we're gonna do this, because this is just. It's not just as good, but it's getting the job done. We're gonna add some black in here. Everybody having a good Mardi Gras? I am. I'm not eating bad. I could go for a donut right now though. I will not lie. But and even though that's not really the season of Lent, the reason I'm not really doing Fat Tuesday is because I know I'm gonna have Little Caesars on Thursday. Gonna go see the Batman movie, and Little Caesars has the uh, Batman calzone pizza, and it looks really good. It really doesn't look that good, but it looks like pizza, calzone pizza. And it looks hilarious. That's what it actually looks like. It looks really funny. So I'm gonna go to Sioux City, get me some Batman calzone pizza, and then, yeah. Oh no, it's seeping into the actual seam. I don't want it to show off the seam. I tried to hide the seam. No! Don't seep in there. Don't you dare do that. Don't even think about that. There we go. Everything else is fine. Don't actually show off where I didn't hide the seam very well. Weathering. Weathering. You're supposed to be on my side, Weathering. What are you doing? Why are you doing this to me? You're supposed to highlight the parts that I wanted you to highlight, not highlight the parts I want that are mistakes. No, no! It's fine. It all looks pretty good. I think he also said he's gonna use this Doctor Doom armor to put on a mannequin or a dummy or whatever. So hopefully it looks good on a dummy. A dummy made it, so hopefully it looks good on a dummy. This is too runny. Ugh, it's way too runny. That was probably too much. Should I add more paint? I should probably just get rid of the water. Oh, whoa, yeah. I kind of forget that I have to wipe this off, and I just kind of get enamored with just painting it on, I'll wipe it off. Just want it to set. Just want it to set for just a little bit. Oof, I like how that looks. I dig it, I dig it. Actually really do like how that looks. I really like how that looks. Man, cool. This was one of the episodes, what did I say, this was episode 72, 73? I have no idea what episode we were actually at. I know we're in the 70s. I think we're in the 70s. I don't know. I think. Dude, yes. 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 Muted gray tone. Yes. Much better. It's in the back. The back is going to be the best looking part of this whole helmet. I'm just going to do that really quick. Just need that muted. That muted color is so much better. I do not want it to look like it was dribbling, though. Yeah, see, it's dribbling. It was dribbling on this side. I wasn't paying attention. I don't want no dribbles. Hey, Matt, we're not doing Peacemaker just yet. I haven't whipped that together yet. Oh yeah. We're gonna call it there for the helmet. The helmet doesn't look as obnoxiously silver as it used to. It's got some pretty good. It's got some pretty good grime in there. Oh, actually, I know what I still need to do for the helmet. I need to paint this part black. My paintbrush is right here. This one is probably the best one to use for the job. Alright. We only need a little bit of paint. Always overestimate how much paint. Yeah, the Peacemaker helmet is still pieces of paper right now. I'm going to try to build, we'll see. We'll see if we can have Jason potentially 3D print us one to try to make, because I just think that would be the best way to do it instead of make it out of foam. But also I want to try to make it out of foam, and I do have the Odin Makes template for his Red Guardian helmet, which is what he used for his Peacemaker helmet. I'm so painfully like unoriginal. I was like, man, how do I make a Peacemaker helmet? I was like, man, what can I do? Like, what pattern do I use? You know, and then he makes a video and he says, I'm just gonna use my Red Guardian pattern. And I'm like, you know what? I bet if I had cared to look at your Red Guardian video, I would have thought that maybe I could use the Red Guardian pattern too. But because it's Red Guardian and I don't care about that, I didn't think about it. So now what we're doing here is I have this mesh for Doctor Doom, but technically it's not supposed to be mesh, it's just supposed to be this little thing. So we're going to paint the mesh black, so that way no one notices it as much, and the silver will pop out more. You can probably already see the silver popping more. Or maybe you can't. I don't know. Hey Matt, do they have the maps on, what's it called? The maps / War of the Realms on Tabletop Sim? If they don't, we can do Roll20. I just hate Roll20 so much. Can't stand it. Oh yeah, that's popping way more already. Love it. No, I don't want to talk spoilers for Peacemaker, but there's a lot of stuff we see throughout this series that I really want to build. So like, I need to make a convention-safe Desert Eagle. I want to make a few of his helmets. That's the worst part is like, I really hate making helmets. They're probably my least favorite thing to make. But if you want to do Peacemaker, then it's like, oh, his helmet is sort of his thing. And then also, here's 18 different helmets that he has. And not 18, it's more like 6, I think. But still, just like, ugh. I hate helmets. I hate helmets. I hate making them. I hate that Captain America. I kind of hate the Captain America wears a helmet, and I need to like remake a helmet for John Walker Captain America here, because the last one I made was really bad. You can tell I made it in 2 days just by how it looked. Not really proud of that, but it got the job done for when I wore it, you know. Wow, that already looks so much better. I need to add some silver to this too. That's alright. Yeah, you see how much more that pops out now? And I just painted it black, and now it just looks way cooler. Man, maybe this helmet isn't so bad. Should do some dry brushing, that's what I should do. Well, a little bit of dry brushing is always actually pretty good. A little bit of dry brushing. Yeah, I think just a little bit of dry brushing. Cool. Gotta quit screwing with it, because eventually I'm just gonna keep messing with it. Alright, wow, we've been live for an hour and 10 minutes. What did we get done? Was this a productive live stream? Let's see. Cut out all those pieces. Did all the stuff. This helmet is done. I just gotta seal it now. I'm not gonna Mod Podge it. I'm not gonna freaking Mod Podge it. Ugh. 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 Yeah. Yeah, this helmet's done. Yeah, I hate this freaking helmet, but it's done. Yeah. Alright, yeah, no, productive live stream. Productive live stream. Good stuff. Good stuff, gang. Good stuff. We might just start doing live streams at random hours of the day, just to make sure whenever I'm doing it. I try to wait until I can assume most people are off of work before I start a live stream, but like today I started this at, oh geez, it's 7 o'clock. Oh my gosh. So it's like 5:50, I guess then. That's wild. That's crazy. All right. Well, I am gonna get going. Thank you guys for stopping in. Thanks for watching. Appreciate it. You know, this is where I tell the famous lie that I'll say, hopefully we see you next week. We might even see you later this week if I just choose to go live at random times in the day. We might see you later this week. If not, I'm gonna try to get that entire glove done. So we'll see. But all right, guys, have a good one. See you maybe next week, maybe.